this video is in response to Logicked.
Okay guys, I know what you're thinking right now, but the fact that I'm replying to another Logicked response is pure coincidence. I did not vanity search Logicked whatsoever.
Whenever I see a video that mentioned Logicked, I will see your comment there.
Okay, maybe I did, but the video actually deals with a very common misconception. And at the end, it just gets so good. You know, the juicy, wonderful, cringeworthy kind of good. Trust me, you'll love it.
He's someone who likes making videos targeting most religions.
So far so good. That is accurate.
Now he has quite a lot of followers.
And... okay, why did you feel the need to mention his subscription count and then not make a point? Want me to make the point for you? Sub counts are not a measure of the validity of someone's claim? Then again, maybe, just maybe, going after somewhat bigger YouTubers makes you kind of feel warm and fuzzy inside. In which case, forget what I said.
In this video, I'll show you that bigger part of his videos contain anything but logic.
Really? That is false advertisement!
For a channel that calls itself Logicked, more than 90% content of his videos comprises of just humor and ridicule.
I mean, sure, some people may argue that Logicked is his name and that people are perfectly capable of combining logic with humor and ridicule, but other than that, totally false advertisement. Oh, I'm so glad you pointed it out.
I'll prove it to you by showing a sample video.
Zakir Naik, I see. The time has finally come. You seem... You seem a little younger than I remember. This must be an old video. By the way, I know it's Zakir or some shit, but yeah, I'm not saying it like that. Sorry.
You're right, he is ridiculing him. I never noticed that. What else have you got?
So, the earth is like a carpet. Proceed.
And now whenever we see carpet is like flat, right?
Not if you work in a carpet store. They can't all be home runs. Just deal with it.
Clearly a horrible... Actually, as bad as that joke is, refuting that all carpets are flat by citing a carpet store, where carpets often are not flat because they're rolled up, is a logical statement.
This is the kind of scientific inaccuracy I'm talking about. What shape are they, Zakir?
Geospherical.
And they're exactly the same?
Exactly same.
Exactly?
Exactly.
Exactly?
Exactly.
Exactly?
Exactly.
Well then, if they're supposed to be exactly the same, then there's your scientific inaccuracy.
I wonder what exactly same is referring to.
Egg of an ostrich. And if you see, the egg of an ostrich and the shape of the earth is exactly same.
Oh, well, yeah. An ostrich egg doesn't look exactly like the earth. And that not only proves Logick's thesis, but he proves it by using the very own words of the speaker. So there is clearly logic involved. I wonder why you felt the need to leave that bit out.
It is geospherical in shape.
You use the same word, geospherical, that doesn't make any sense? You even fold your hands the same way. But you're not Zakir. You can't be Zakir. You're not funny enough looking. And now I've wasted 8 minutes of my video on you. To be honest, I feel a little bit devastated that I've been fooled so completely by your almost perfect mimicry of Zakir Naik. It's very disconcerting to know that a human can imitate another human with such accuracy. It's... You know, the next time I see my wife, I'm going to be very concerned that she's been replaced by an imposter. I really just have to go and be alone and think about this for a while. I'll make a proper video response to Zakir Naik later.
And the video-long fake Zakir Naik joke comes to an end.
So, where is the logic? Is ridiculing and insulting others called logic?
I get that calling out a person for his blatant copycat syndrome and plagiarism is not really a logical argument, but pointing out that the guy copied an argument in its entirety, including the clothes, gestures, speaking pattern, and most importantly, every single flaw attached to it, is still a valuable thing to do.
Now, he also uses funny pictures of apologists as featured image in most of his videos. Possibly in an attempt to stereotype his followers away from any seriousness related to that apologist.
That is actually a very good point. It has just a tiny little flaw, which is that Logicked applies the very same courtesy to himself.
Listen! My mom said I don't have a low IQ! I'm just extra special! Can I at least have my teddy? Well, you should have tried harder with John Pendleton. He's my John, and this John can't replace him.
I am aware of the fact that some people value a statement more depending on who says it instead of what it actually says. Up to the point where this person will defend very dangerous nonsensical ideas as unquestionable because they get attributed to, for example, the Prophet Muhammad. But in the Kufarian corner of YouTube, where Logicked resides in, there are a lot of people who place the merit of a claim in its validity and don't really care who utters it. As a result, you can get away with looking and acting very silly and still get your point across. Likewise, pointing out that people are made to look silly in a thumbnail doesn't prove or disprove their arguments either, nor the arguments against them. All it does is showing how obsessed you are with the physical appearance of other guys.
Now, having said all that, he does try to use some logic in some portion of his video, and to that we should also respond logically.
People don't describe the shape of the Earth as geospherical because the word geospherical doesn't refer to the shape of the Earth. The word geospherical is used to talk about things related to the geosphere. It's just you guys who use it in this weird way that refers to something shaped like the Earth. What other people describe the Earth as is an oblate spheroid. In other words, a sphere that's been kind of squished on the top and bottom, or more accurately, pulled out on the sides from centrifugal force.
This verse just doesn't seem right at all. Where did I put my Arabic to English gene translator? Oh, there. Okay, let me see. Please rub against something warm. Where did I find something warm in hell? My hands are cold as ice, so those won't work. Let me think. Oh, I know.
Hello, mistress. Almighty Boogeyman at your service.
Hey, it worked!
What do you want?
Well, the dude from the video just brought up this Quran verse, but I can't find the ostrich egg.
There is no ostrich egg. It's just people who do not know Arabic who say that.
Oh, thanks, Boogeyman.
And please do not rub the lump against your boobs. You make my painting fall off the wall.
Sure, whatever. You know, I find it odd that you focused on the very last bit of what Logicked said, the part about the centrifugal force, but at the same time completely ignored the fact that he wasn't debunking the verse, but the person misreading the verse.
Naziyat Surah number 79, ayat number 30, Allah says that I have created the earth in the shape of Dahaha. What is Dahaha? The egg of an ostrich. Egg of an ostrich.
Shouldn't you be going after him instead? But since you were so kind to bring up this verse, how on earth do you come from the Coriolis effect, a physical force we understand, to Allah spread the earth? Are you implying that Allah is a synonym for inertia? Actually, that would explain quite a lot.
Now firstly, in all this video, this full 8-minute video, he touched just one issue of the shape of the earth.
Hold on there a second. Did you just say one issue? Dude, you brought up at least 4 of his points by showing at best a couple of minutes worth of footage. In your video, we learned that carpets aren't always flat, the geosphere is an inaccurate term to refer to the Earth, the Quran has scientific inaccuracies, and Zakir's clone has no mind of his own. How exactly is this just one issue?
He mentioned the verse of the 79th chapter, but he forgot to mention this verse that is also used quite frequently.
I'm really sorry to break it to you, but it's not his job to bring up verses Zakir didn't even mention himself. It is his job to debunk them. In fact, if he would bring up a verse that Zakir actually didn't even argue for, that would at best be sidetracking and at worst a straw man, which is not beneficial to either position.
In this verse, the word used for moon wrapping around the earth is yukavviru.
Aw, come on, don't be shy. Read the whole verse. He created the heavens and earth in truth. He wraps the night over the day and wraps the day over the night and has subjected the sun and the moon, each running its course for a specified term. Unquestionably, he is the exalted in might, the perpetual forgiver. So here we have a very accurate astronomical description about how we don't turn away from the sun and back to the sun because the earth rotates, but we're wrapped instead in a layer of day and then a layer of night, like a sandwich gets wrapped in aluminum foil. And to top up our super scientific astronomy class, he makes the moon and the sun marathon around the earth. Brilliant! Now, to everyone who doesn't have his head stuck in the ostrich egg that doesn't exist, it should be crystal clear that this is either old Bronze Age beliefs about the Earth or metaphorical gibberish, or both. The one thing it is not is scientifically accurate. But I'm kinda running ahead here now, so why don't you tell us about the verse?
In this verse, the word used for moon wrapping around the earth is yukaviru, which is derived from the word kura, meaning like a ball or a turban wrapped around the head, or simply spherical.
So instead of focusing on the Earth, which was the topic addressed in the video, we talk about the shape of the moon. And how exactly is turban and ball the same thing? Is the moon a ball wrapped around the Earth like a turban? Or is the turban comparison an indication that the moon is empty inside? You're not doing yourself any favors here. All you do is add even more evidence to Logick's claim that the Quran is unscientific.
Now he mentioned how an ostrich egg is not the actual shape of the earth, which is an oblate spheroid. But we should know that religion uses more of a generic use of words rather than specific, because not only are these simple words like ball or egg easier for us to understand, but also in the context of when the revelation was revealed, it makes more sense to use simpler words because, quite frankly, nobody really knew about an oblate spheroid.
Yes, exactly! The authors of the book used their restricted knowledge to explain what they thought the Earth would look like. We absolutely agree on that. You know who doesn't agree?
The egg of an ostrich and the shape of the earth is exactly same.
And you know who calls him out on it?
What shape are they, Zakir?
Geospherical.
And they're exactly the same?
Exactly same.
Exactly?
Exactly.
Exactly?
Exactly.
Exactly?
Exactly.
Well then, if they're supposed to be exactly the same, then there's your scientific inaccuracy.
And since you just stated the Quran uses metaphors and is thus not scientifically accurate, you agree with Logicked and you don't even notice it.
So, in a nutshell, ridiculing religion is nothing new.
No, it isn't. But that was not your original critique. You said he would not be logical, which you yourself just disproved.
And by the way, he does this in all of his videos.
You mean debunking people's flawed arguments with a few little jokes in between to keep the audience entertained? Well, yes, that's their whole point.
We know that these are actually very weak tactics, and many in the past have also attempted the same tactics, but it all ends with the majority of people not taking these jokers seriously.
Aside from the fact that you took him seriously enough to reply to him and to get offended about his style, I wouldn't expect you to see him as anything but a joker. Obviously, you're clearly either too much of a foreigner and don't understand the language good enough, too indoctrinated, or too much of an idiot to understand what he's even arguing about. However, I am still glad that you exist because this was a deliciously hilarious video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up, share your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you really like what I do, consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much to the Patreons who are supporting me already, and have a great day.